DonInLondon. Hello. October the 9th. My video is all about recovery from addiction to substance and behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol. In recovery, one day at a time. Recovering alcoholic. And behaviour. My behaviour. Trying to be perfect. Collecting. You name it. Indulging people, places, things, work, relationships. Trying to be right. Trying to be perfect. And very, very trying. So these days, one day at a time, looking for balance, finding purpose, to love, be loved, and do something useful. And what helps me in my recovery, a fellowship, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. I never speak for AA. AA is full of unique, authentic people with one similarity. That's the desire for recovery and not to drink. One day at a time, the 24-hour program. Here I share from this book the daily reflections from AA, and it gives 1 page a day. October being all about the 10th step of the 12-step program. 10th step is about taking a daily inventory and understanding where we are in our attitudes, behaviour and responses to life, and sometimes our reactions, which can be quite unhelpful. So for today, October 9th, it says this: a spiritual axiom. It is a spiritual axiom that every time we are disturbed, no matter what the cause, there is something wrong with us. Unless, of course, it's the police going by on their way back to the police station, probably for late breakfast. No, did I say that? I did. I'm sorry. Anyway, it goes on to say, I never truly understood the 10th step's spiritual axiom until I had the following experience. I was sitting in my bedroom, reading into the wee hours, when suddenly I heard my dogs barking in the backyard. My neighbours frown on this kind of disturbance, so, with mixed feelings of anger and shame, as well as fear of my neighbours' disapproval, I immediately called in my dogs. Several weeks later, the exact situation repeated itself, but this time, because I was feeling more at peace with myself, in other words, I changed my attitude and behaviour, I was able to accept the situation. Dogs will bark. And I calmly called in the dogs. Both incidents taught me that when a person experiences nearly identical events and reacts two different ways, then it is not the event which is of prime importance, but the person's spiritual condition. Feelings come from inside, not from outward circumstances. When my spiritual condition is positive, I react positively. It's like now I have a neighbour with a dog which barks incessantly, and I came to the conclusion that I could neither train the dog nor the owner, but I could train myself to say, dogs bark, and let it go. Do you know what? I hardly ever hear them, but they always bark, many times a day. Now, isn't that odd? So if I focus on the anger, if I focus on what is wrong, I can make it more and more wrong and get into reacting angrily, resentfully. So these days, rather than anger and resentment, I let it go. Simply let it go. It doesn't spoil the enjoyment of my life when somebody else's dog barks, unless it was actually right in my ear, I guess. So there are same situation, two different attitudes, and that's how it works in recovery. New attitude, new behaviour, new response. So at the end of these videos, when it's getting tough, difficult, and anger and resentment is coming up, that serenity prayer helps me no end, any time of day, in the minute, the hour, the day, to God of good conscience, as you come to understand, working for you, to find the truth of now, spiritual. God, or to good conscience, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference can be and is for me just for today.